Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. And in this video, we are going to be talking about OpenClaw. Imagine texting your AI on WhatsApp and it actually does your work, books flights for you, clears your inbox, browses the web, remembers everything forever, all running locally on your machine like a personal assistant. That's OpenClaw, the new open source personal agent by Peter that's taken over the internet and turned passive chatbots into actual real life digital sidekicks. In this video, I'll show you why everyone's obsessed and guide you through the dead simple setup so that you could unleash your own claw powered assistant within minutes. Now, there are two ways to run OpenClaw. Option 1, your personal computer. You could install OpenClaw on your machine and it's free and it's easy. Your personal files are accessible to the agent and it's not ideal. You could isolate it to a dedicated Mac mini or something, but that would cost you and it also needs to be online all the time. And there is option 2, which is simply renting a VPS. It's like a computer on the cloud. It runs 24/7 and in case something wrong happens, it's isolated completely from your personal machine. You could simply power it down entirely and start over again. It's as easy as that. Now for this video, we'll be renting a VPS on Hostinger. We are mainly using Hostinger since it has a one-click deploy option. You could just click a button and deploy OpenClaw just like that. It's as easy as that. Let me show you. Now they have quite a few plans here. If you are just about to play around with it and test its features, I would suggest KVM 1. But if you could afford KVM 2, just go for it since this gives you plenty of options to just create an agent, create sub agents, and then start using OpenClaw in production. So let me just choose KVM 2. We will be taken to the cart. Okay. Now you could select the plan here. I'll just select 1 month and I don't need this. This will just deploy OpenClaw onto your VPS, guys. You would still need something like a brain, like a model, an LLM to function as a brain for your agent, and that we'll be configuring later on in this video. Now apart from this, I would highly suggest daily auto backup since this would take a snapshot periodically, and if in case something wrong happens, you could simply restore it from this backup. And as for the server location, choose the one with the lowest latency so that your agent is quick, and click on continue, buy a plan here. Let me just buy this and resume. Now this is the screen that you will be seeing as soon as you finish the purchase. This is where you would need to configure the keys for the LLMs that you are about to use. I'll be using Claude here, so I'll just go to the platform.claude.com and then create a key here. I'll just name this OpenClaw agent, okay, and click on add. Copy this key somewhere and keep it safe. Once I have pasted that key, I can simply click on deploy, and the OpenClaw instance would be deployed to Hostinger. This is the survey that you will be seeing as soon as it got deployed. You could just scroll down and click on skip. This is the first screen that you would be seeing as soon as the OpenClaw instance is deployed. Now just click on overview, and then if you click on OpenClaw, you can see that you're asked for your gateway token, right? Click on gateway token, it will be copied to your clipboard. Now what I would suggest is take this gateway token and keep it somewhere safe, like in a password manager or something. Don't just leave it in notes or in a text file, but yeah, keep it somewhere secure. You could just paste this here and click on login to access your OpenClaw instance. Before getting into this, let me talk a little bit about the LLM. The LLM that we have configured here is Claude, right? To chat with Claude or to access the Claude API, you need to purchase credits, right? Now all you need is to spend about $5, and you can just buy credits for $5 and start chatting with your instance right away. But what I would suggest is there are two, like the $5 would get you into tier 1 and $40 would get you into tier 2. What I would suggest is this tier 2. The reason is that if you notice here, the tier 1 has a limitation of about 50 requests per minute, as well as there is a limitation in tokens, the 30,000 tokens for input and 8,000 tokens for output. Whereas in tier 2, if you notice, the request per minute is drastic. The difference is drastic, right? Here it was just 50, but here it's 1000, and also this is 15 times the limit of tier 1, right? So if you're just doing this for the first time, and if you're just playing around, $5 is enough, the tier 1 is enough. But if you could afford it, just go for tier 2. That's my point here. After purchasing the credits, go to limits. There will be something called limits, and then set this to something that you are comfortable with. I set it to 100 so that my bill doesn't shock me one day. So set it to something that you're comfortable with. Alright, now let's just click on login. Okay, this is something, these messages are something that you wouldn't probably see. You would probably see a blank screen, but in case you see this, I'll tell you how to handle this later on in this video. These are just routine heartbeats that are running every 30 minutes, guys. But this would actually, if you let this go on, this would actually rack up your costs. So let me show you how to prevent this as well. But now that the agent is ready, let's just start chatting with it. I'll just type a hello message. Wow, it's asking me, I just came online, let's figure it out. Who am I, who are you? So we need to like set it give this a personality. So I'll just say I am Raja and you are Whisker. Whisker is the name that I am planning to give my agent here. Okay, it's just asking me to give it a little bit more information. Before setting the vibe for this agent, what I'll do is I'll just go to agents here, and then here you can see primary model default is Cloud Opus. Cloud Opus is like really costly, guys. Even just a few messages could eat up your tokens. So what I'll do is I'll just move to Claude Sonnet. This is considerably cheaper, and it's unless you're doing some heavy reasoning tasks or have some heavy research, Claude Sonnet is pretty much good enough. So what I'll do is, not Haiku, I just set it to Sonnet, right? Yeah, Claude Sonnet, and then save this. Alright, now let's set the vibe. I have pretty much a detailed instruction here that I'll just feed into this. I have given it a vibe, an emoji, and I have also given some preferences about me as well as what I would expect from the the agent. So I'll just hit enter. Fine, it just said got it Raja, let's work, right? Now before I forget, I just told you how I would like prevent this heartbeat from running every 30 minutes and racking up charges, right? So in order to do that, just give this command set, or I'll just wait. Alright, now that we have disabled the heartbeat and the gateway was restarted automatically, now let's get back to work, guys. First of all, we'll deal with security. We need to make this more secure, right? So there is a specific section called security in the docs. We'll just copy this URL and give this to our agent. I'll just paste this URL here and then say like implement and verify everything on this page, but leave this. We need to allow insecure auth to true so that we could still access this dashboard on this browser. So yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about security later on. For now, let's just ask our agent to do whatever, read through this page and then verify all the security, implement and verify all the security measures that are suggested in this page. Let's send this. All right. Now you can see that it has run a security audit by itself and then like did some fixes, and it has also mentioned all the fixes that it had done here. So we have actually implemented and verified the security suggestions given by the OpenClaw official OpenClaw docs. Now apart from this, before moving into production, what I would recommend is you set up a reverse proxy as well as use Tailscale to create a subnet and then like provide more protection, provide more security when you deploy it into production. If you want to see how to do that, or I'll do a subsequent follow-up video for this particular video showing you how to do a reverse proxy, how to set up a reverse proxy, as well as how to set up Tailscale to make your OpenClaw instance more secure. Okay, for now let's just move on, and I'll show you what else we could do to make this assistant a little bit more useful to us. First of all, we need to set some explicit rules. For instance, when sending messages on my behalf, always get my approval after drafting them. Always ask me before deleting any file, and always ask me before making network requests. Always ask, generally we just say always ask before making requests. When sending messages on my behalf, always get my approval, and whenever you are about to delete a file, ask me, and also if you are making a network request, ask me. So we'll just set this as rules for the assistant. As you can see that, saying that to your preferences, noted and saved. These 3 rules are now locked in: draft before send, confirm before delete, ask before any network call. So this is how you can like set your own custom rules to your assistant so that it doesn't do anything without asking you. This is like a little bit like fine tuning your assistant to work for you. We'll also set more rules here so that we could keep the cost a little bit under control. So what I will do is I have already set the limit here. If you remember, we already set a spending limit, right? So we'll just set a couple of rules here as well. If a task fails 3 times, stop. Don't let any task run indefinitely. Limit runtime to 10 minutes unless I say otherwise. So whenever I give you a task, I give this assistant a task, if it fails 3 times, it should immediately stop. It should not keep retrying and then be caught in a loop. Also, don't run any task indefinitely. Just do it just run it for 10 minutes, and if it still fails or if it just keeps running, stop it right away. This will keep my bill under control, and if you still want to control it, just keep reducing this minutes until and set it to a number that you're comfortable with. So I'll just set this rule as well. So now what we have done is we have configured our assistant, we have given it a vibe, we have run a security audit on it and then asked it to make it more secure, and not only that, we have set a couple of rules as well, like basic rules. Run any task by me before actually sending a message or something, ask before deleting, or run tasks only like 3 times and don't run any task indefinitely. We have just given it some basic instructions. Let's go on and see how to connect Telegram to your personal assistant. Now the easiest way to connect Telegram with this agent is just to ask it, let's connect Telegram now. Nice, it just gave me 5 instructions. Note that it's just keeping the responses concise, clear and crisp, right? Just like we instructed it to. Now what I need to do is go to this bot father and then send new bot. Wait, let me open up Telegram here. Yeah, I have this bot father, and as you can see here, I have already like added a bot previously, like long back when I was playing with it. Anyway, let's just do it. New bot. Whisker. Fine, they are giving a token here, right? Just copy this token and then paste it here. Alright, now that this is done, let's just try sending a message. Okay, there is a pairing code, right? Just copy this. Now the Telegram bot is paired, so let's just try and see if it works. We get a response, right? But if you notice here, we can't see any of those chats. That's because you need to go here, refresh, click on refresh once, and then click here. There is this ID, right? Click on it and you can see that the messages are present here. So now you know that the Telegram bot has been configured successfully to work, and it's been paired to work with our agent, guys. So most of the videos would end here, but let me go further and then show you a few more things. First of all, I'll show you I'll tell you what's a skill, and I'll show you how exactly to install a skill and use it inside your workspace here. Now before we move on to skills, if you wanted to add any other agent, any other app like WhatsApp or Discord to your agent, just ask it like we asked here, and it would give you a set of instructions. Just follow those to get those apps added into your agent as well. Now moving on to the topic of skills. Skills are nothing but abilities that enhance your agent's capability. Now as of now, the agent is just behaving like a chatbot, right? If in case you wanted to search the web for something, then that's a skill. If you wanted to check your email, that's a skill. If you wanted to like book an appointment on your calendar, that's a skill. So skills are nothing but specific clear-cut instructions given to an agent so that it can go through those instructions and do something on its own for you, right? These are nothing but just markdown files, guys. Markdown files added on to your agent so that your agent now has the capability to do something for you other than just chatting with you. Now let me give you an example so that you'd have a better understanding. First of all, to find any skill, there is a specific site called Claw Hub. This is where you would get skills for your OpenClaw agent. It's here I should mention that this Claw Hub is community maintained. That is, whatever skill that you see here might not always be 100% safe. So when you are browsing through skills, always see if they are safe. Like say for instance, if I am clicking on this, you will notice that there are two scans. One is from VirusTotal and the other one is from OpenClaw, and both of those report that this skill is safe. So now I could obviously install this, but if they report it as suspicious or something, then there might be a possibility that that skill would be a little bit dangerous. Not a little bit, it could be dangerous. So yeah, always ensure that the skills work as advertised. Now one of my favorite skills is this last 30 days skill. What this does is it simply aggregates information from different websites on a particular topic and presents you with a summary so that you can stay updated on what's happening around you. I'll show you how exactly to install the skill as well as how to use the skill to help you out. So we don't even need to install it directly here. What we could do is we could just use our Telegram bot we have just configured. So what I'll do is I'll just alright, now you can see that it has loaded up Claw Hub and it's asking me whether I want to search for a particular skill or if I wanted to install anything from that hub. So what I'll do is first of all I'll just switch to a cheaper model. Default is Claude Sonnet, right? These are all routine tasks that we are doing, so we could just get it done with Claude Haiku. I'll just save this. Now it's Claude Haiku. Get back to chat. Now as I was saying, either I could search for this last 30 days skill through this Claw Hub, directly here, and then ask it to install it, or I could, the easiest way is just copy this, paste it here, and simply say run a security audit on this particular skill and confirm if it's safe to install and use. Fine, as you can see here, it has given us a green flag, right? So what we'll do is before that we'll just check once again here as well. Go to skills, last 30 days official, last 30 days. Yeah, this is, yeah, we get green flags here as well. So yeah, this skill is fine to install. Now what we'll do is go back to our Telegram bot and ask it to install it. Alright, now you can see that the skill has been installed, but notice that it has given me some instructions here, given me some information here. It's saying that the slug is actually last 30 days and not last 30 days official. So in such situations, the ideal way to handle this is just ask it once more. As you can see here, it has responded something, not the same one. Here's the difference, and it's just saying that it might be an older or different version of the skill. So the reason why I mentioned this is always check whether it has installed the exact skill that you wanted, or the even easier way is to just paste the URL. Alright, now it has not just installed the exact skill for us, it has also run a verification for us without us asking, and then confirm that this is the exact skill that we wanted. And not just that, it also removed the previous skill that it installed wrongly. So my point here is always verify whether you have the exact skill that you wanted and not just some other random skill that might be available in Claw Hub, because most of these, some of these skills have malicious content in them that could harm your file system. Alright, now that we have installed the skill, let's just try and use it. Alright, now you can see that it has given us a concise summary for this particular search term, use cases for OpenClaw. It has searched for it on YouTube and given us this summary. So now you can see that we have extended the capability of OpenClaw, and we have made it do something, search for something on a particular site, come back with the result, summarize the result and give it to me in a presentable format. So this is exactly what skills do, guys. You could enhance the capability of your agent and make it work for you rather than being just a chatbot. Now once again, if you are giving it a task like this, for instance this particular task, always try to use the Claude Sonnet model. That's like a model that's pretty good. If you are giving it a task that involves deep research, or you want to or it involves clever reasoning, or you want to write a well thought out report, kindly use the Claude Opus model. Claude Opus model is the costliest one. Claude Sonnet, it's fine. Claude Haiku is the cheapest one. Claude Haiku, you could just use it for checking your email, or showing a demo, or booking a ticket or something like that, just for routine tasks, right? So yeah, just a little bit of advice for you to cut costs. That's it. You could simply look at it. Please give me a list of available models that are currently configured here. Now you can specify instructions from here. Just watch this. Use the Claude Haiku model as the default for tasks involving research. Kindly use Claude Sonnet for tasks involving deep research, reasoning, coding, or writing. Cool. Now you could see that I have routed it in such a way that the bot will automatically automatically use Claude Haiku for doing tasks and chatting with me. Whereas when I assign it a specific task like a research, or asking it to search for something in some other site, or asking it to do a web search, it will just use Claude Sonnet. Whereas if I am asking it to do deep research, give me an analytical report, or write some code, or write a report, then it would switch to Claude Opus. But it will always ask me before switching to Claude Opus. In this way I could keep my costs under my limit, right? So yeah, this is something that you could do if you wanted. Anyway, now we have seen how to configure, how to set up OpenClaw, how to configure your first agent, how to set rules, to give rules and instructions to your agent, how to configure Telegram so that you could talk to your agent directly from your mobile device or some other device. And we also saw how to install a skill, how to use that skill, and how to switch models so that there would be effective usage. Now let me talk a little bit about memory before wrapping up. OpenClaw has a persistent memory, guys. It would store whatever instructions, whatever personality you give to the agent, and then follow all your rules accordingly. So ensure that to get optimal benefits from OpenClaw, always ensure that you give the rules clearly beforehand and then ask it to follow it specifically. Let me just show you one more example here before we wrap up. Now let's talk a little bit about memory and workspace setup. So in order to see how our workspace is being set up, just go to OpenClaw control, and then go to agents, files, you could see a lot of files here, right? So these are all the files that are available under your OpenClaw workspace, as you can see here. Now each of these files have specific instructions. For instance, this sol is the one that contains the instructions that we gave upon initialization. We just said how it needs to behave and how it needs to help me, and its name and its emoji and all that, right? So this sol contains all of this. The easiest way to see this is just say please show me the contents of sol.md. Please tell me. It just gave me the entire contents of that particular file, and it even asked me whether I need to change it or not. So this is how you manage your manage the personality of your bot, guys. You could obviously change any of these files directly from your bot, and then ask it to add skills, or ask it to change its personality, or set specific rules which it needs to follow at all times. Yeah, you could do a lot of tweaking here with these files in this file system, but please be careful while doing this, cause this would reflect the entire personality of the bot. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is memory. You need to ensure that the agent gets better over time, right? For that, what you need to do is you need to set two things. Wait, I'll show you that. Just open up your bot again, and just type this: enable compaction memory flush and session memory. So what this does is that it stores whatever we talked about here in this conversation in a file, and then as time goes on, as we have more and more conversations, it keeps learning from all these conversations and gradually becomes better over time. So watch what happens when I just give this command. This is another thing that I just wanted to show you guys, so that your agent will now be at peak efficiency. So yeah, guys, this is exactly what I wanted to show you guys today. We have covered a lot of topic. I don't want to overload you. I still wanted to talk to you about cron jobs. Cron jobs are nothing but jobs that run at specific scheduled time every day or every week and do specific tasks for you. That will be like really helpful if you want to run a routine task every week for a particular purpose. Heartbeat is nothing but a job that runs at specific intervals. So cron jobs for specific tasks, heartbeat for monitoring something. Say for instance, if you want to monitor the news or a stock price, then you could run a heartbeat every 1 hour to see if the price has changed or not. So yeah, those still enhance the capabilities of your agent and take it to the next level. That I wanted to show, but I'll probably show it in a different video, in a subsequent video. And I also wanted to show you guys how to create sub agents, so that the tasks that you give your agent are now split across different sub agents, and each of those agents could use a different model and run parallelly, so that the entire process becomes much more easier and much more efficient. I also wanted to talk about security, right? I'll also make a subsequent video on security, where I'll show you how to secure this entire setup by setting up a reverse proxy as well as running it within Tailscale, so that this instance would not be exposed anywhere on the internet. I'll show you that as well. So kindly stay subscribed, guys. If you hit the subscribe button, you could get a notification about all these videos that I'm planning to do. If you really like this video, hit the like button. It will help me a lot. If you are stuck somewhere, or if you want me to configure OpenClaw setup for you in a secure way, kindly let me know in the comment section, and I'll help you out actually. And if you really like this content, subscribe to my channel so that you could get notifications whenever I upload a video here. So yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to show you guys today. and I'll come back with more videos on using OpenClaw and automating your workflow. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.